Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Kissing on this every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave.
Let's fight.
System, I don't want to be saved. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway. It's a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip a switch and you can go and obtain anything you want.
Ready, bro. Filing all cylinders. Reaction time there, speed there. It's focused. That's what's getting. That's what got him ready. It's focused.
Good.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Good. Stay in your rhythm, champ. Stay in your rhythm. Your rhythm, your time, your fight. Let's go.
You trying hard? Good try. This effort.
Watching how Stevenson is preparing for Teofimo Lopez, it's obvious the game plan is focused on managing the early storm and staying in control, instead of waiting to look sharp once the fight settles down.
How many rounds you do today? 17, right?
Teofimo is at his most threatening in the opening stages, so Shakur's training is built to deal with intensity from the very first bell. His camp is pushing high-tempo rounds, minimal recovery time, and exercises that demand instant reset and space control after being pressured. The objective is to make early aggression feel routine rather than chaotic, so competing under fire feels just as natural as boxing comfortably in the later rounds.
We'll do that same I got you on my time.
Another major focus of the camp is tightening up the minor defensive mistakes that appeared in recent bouts. Against Teofimo, a single clean connection can change everything. That's why every jab or check hook is now paired with immediate movement, either a step out or a shift in angle. There's no pausing to admire shots, and no chance given to Teofimo to feel comfortable landing when he pushes forward.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. There we go. There we go. Left 15, all the way down.
I feel great. Sprints kind of be getting me right, get my conditioning right. Sometimes in a fight could turn into a sprint. Because it's like, to start the pace fast as hell and then they can't keep up the pace. But the sprints will kind of get you in shape to where once you break down, sometimes you get a second win. Then you get another win. Then you get another win after that. So I did the sprints a lot in a Jamel Herring fight. That's why you see me fight at a fast pace. And then once I slowed down, I picked it back up and I had all the energy in the world to do it. So we locked in.
Shakur's footwork isn't about circling endlessly or running away. It's built on subtle, precise movements that keep Teofimo within range to throw, but never stable enough to land cleanly. On the mental side, the camp is deeply focused on breaking down Teofimo's tendencies, how he lunges forward, how he loads up on single power shots, and how he briefly hesitates afterward. The idea is that by the middle rounds, those moments no longer feel threatening, but familiar. The strategy isn't to chase a knockout or try to outmuscle Teofimo. It's to force misses early, answer back every time, and gradually wear away his belief. Over time, the explosive attacks lose their edge. Put simply, Shakur is preparing to make Teofimo expend more energy for fewer results. Until the fight slows, frustration sets in, and control steadily shifts in Shakur's direction. This is where the quiet, methodical thinking behind Shakur Stevenson's preparation collides with all the outside noise. When a training camp is built around handling chaos without losing composure, the debate stops being hypothetical. Hearing Sean Porter and others argue back and forth, you can sense the real issue beneath the humor. Fans claim they want brutality, yet they often criticize fighters who are too effective at staying safe and in control.
Yeah, let's do the rest centered up, I think.
Oh, centered up? Okay, yeah, sorry. So he's looking right in the camera?
Yeah, because he's talking to...
Yeah, I'll land a punch on him. For sure.
Do you believe your opponent underestimates you?
I think my opponent is underestimating me because he said that I'm a slow one. He thinks that I'm too small.
Porter's focus on resets, distance, and re-establishing control isn't about being dull. It's the method for draining Teofimo Lopez of his momentum. He's a fighter who relies on rhythm shifts to generate danger, and cutting those off is how you take the air out of his attack.
Is extremely smart. Okay. I can guarantee you this is what Shakur is going to do. Shakur is going to come out middle of the ring, work that jab, work that pawn that he does, all that, the feints. He's going to try to touch him with the jab, but he's going to be waiting on his moments to snap with that right hand, waiting on his moments to counter, waiting on his moments. And when they're not there, he's just going to slide off, go for that little walk.
When people say Shakur needs to show the dog, it makes me smile because dogs get hit, and Shakur's entire career has been built on denying opponents clean contact. Fans complain about movement-heavy fights, yet conveniently ignore that Teofimo has had dull performances himself, and the conversation suddenly stops short. That's boxing for you. Still, the wildcard factor is real, because Teofimo has the ability to change everything with a single explosive moment.
Right off, restart. Shakur is the kind of fighter that does not mind restarting. That was our thing, was once we start, we want to do the best we can to get away from another restart, because the restart allows you to reset, allows you that space, and stuff like that.
Shakur wins by steadily removing choices, one round at a time. In my view, the more people demand that he change his style, the more firmly he leans into who he really is. He's not fighting for applause. He's fighting to control time. If Teofimo can't drag him into exchanges, that nervous energy turns into swinging at nothing. And in boxing, that kind of shadow boxing comes with a price.
The thing that I like about Shakur, though, is, we already know the statistical numbers in terms of how much he gets hit per round and even per fight, which is
low.
But the other side of that is offensively, he's very accurate.
This isn't really a debate about ability versus entertainment. It's about whether patience gets criticized simply because it isn't loud. That's what makes this fight risky for both sides. Chaos only works when it's allowed, and Shakur trained specifically to deny it. If structure wins, people will label it boring while watching precision mature in real time. If chaos breaks through, everyone will act surprised, even though they were asking for it all along.
While we don't like that he might throw 30, 40 punches around, he's usually on point when he throws. He don't miss. He finds his moments, and then he turns it on. The difference is when he turns it on is he's delivered that power to a point where we actually sit back and all right, round after round, like, all right, he's losing these rounds.
No matter how it plays out, someone's reality is going to crack, and that's what holds my attention. I'm watching without blinders, leaving preferences at the door, waiting for the instant when discipline is pushed under real pressure. Not online chatter or past memories, but outcomes decided in real time, round by round.
Listen, man, we talking about a situation. We talking about a situation where a fighter could be smart enough to just be right on point. What I mean by that is we could be in a situation where both these guys kind of coasting.
Right after Porter broke down resets and patience like a seasoned pro, Bernie Fay, a sharp analyst, stepped in and shifted the perspective without raising his voice. His point was clear. Most people aren't seeing what this fight is really about. Bernie explained that Shakur isn't just elusive. He occupies that tricky distance where opponents feel bold enough to strike, but too exposed to actually connect. I had to agree, because he's describing the Mayweather effect here. Not showmanship, just quiet frustration building steadily, round after round.
Finding moments to steal moments in every round and steal rounds and actually win on the scorecards simply because he did just a little bit more, simply because he was just a little bit more active. I don't know.
You're not just facing the fighter in front of you. You're up against expectations, hype, celebrity, and your own discipline. Bernie pointed out that Teofimo had the spotlight after Lomachenko and let it slip. And that really resonated because boxing doesn't wait for anyone to feel ready. Then he went straight to the hard truth. If you can't land on Shakur, how are you supposed to hurt him? Suddenly, all the talk about power starts to sound theoretical. I laughed when Bernie challenged the idea of Teofimo's legendary strength. Facts don't care about highlight reels, and recently the results haven't matched the hype. Comparing Shakur to Mayweather's ability to neutralize opponents isn't flattery. It's a reality check. You can swing endlessly, but if nothing lands clean, confidence erodes. And when Bernie said this fight will determine if Shakur crosses into superstardom, I felt the weight of that statement. Winning isn't enough anymore. It has to look undeniable. We're watching to see if control finally gets its recognition, or if chaos steals the spotlight once again.
Well, Shakur has the ability to diffuse you, So, I think he has the Mayweather effect where he can diffuse you. It's just on if he's going to take the more risk, to stamp his victory. You know what I mean? He's gonna let his hands go in the times that he could using his speed. So that's just what I think it is with that. I think he know how to nullify what you're doing.
Right after Bernie painted Shakur as a slow-building frustration machine, Jose Benavidez Sr. stepped in sounding like the veteran at the gym who's watched too many skilled fighters lose to their own habits. That's where the tone subtly changed. Jose bluntly said Shakur is insanely talented, but almost too cautious. I laugh because that's the nicest way to say, yeah, he'll win, but don't expect fireworks every round. When Jose talks about Shakur avoiding unnecessary risk, I hear both respect and a subtle challenge, like he's asking, you could push harder, right? He even referenced that one fight where Shakur stayed in the pocket and made everyone pause. That's the ghost shadowing this matchup. We've seen that version of him, which makes every safer performance feel like he's leaving something on the table. Jose isn't criticizing, he's analyzing. He's basically pointing out that Shakur intentionally prioritizes control over spectacle. And you can't fault a man for safeguarding his future, even if fans are clamoring for constant showdowns.
Sometimes he leads in some fights. He's not as capitalized as much as you think he could. So I think that's gonna be it. If you make him miss, make him pay 2 or 3. Not just one counter punch. So I think that's the thing about it, and I'm sure that he will. I'm sure that he will. Of course, he's gonna be a little cautious at first, but Tio ain't knocking nobody out neither.
Then Jose turns his attention to Teofimo Lopez, and this is where it gets very real. He describes Teofimo as a showman, not in a mocking way, but in a this guy does things you can't teach way. That hit home because Teofimo's talent has always been loud and undeniable. But Jose also slipped in a quiet caution. Boxing doesn't forgive distraction, and Teofimo has been through a lot. That's not gossip. It's hard-earned experience speaking. When Jose says that a focused Teofimo is truly dangerous, that's not hype. It's a conditional truth. If he's dialed in, he's a serious threat. If he's distracted, he becomes unpredictable, a question mark in gloves. I respect how Jose refuses to pick a winner, calling it 50-50, because it highlights that this fight isn't decided on paper. It's about who shows up complete, mentally and physically. This isn't just a clash of styles. It's discipline versus temptation. And history shows which one usually wins when the lights shine brightest.
I'm just, so the kid, like, he in a good position, and if he is able to win against Teofimo Lopez, he will be a lineal champion in 2 weights. And who? Okay, Teo, he's done that. So if he beats Teo, he equals that accomplishment, and he beats him. So I would definitely say he's the best boxer. He's the best one.
When you put all the pieces together, the way Shakur designed his camp to make chaos feel normal, Porter explaining why he resets and suffocates danger, Bernie highlighting that cursed range where confidence fades, and Jose emphasizing that discipline and focus shape careers, you start to see the bigger picture. This fight isn't about who's flashier or louder. It's about who can survive being themselves. Teofimo thrives on moments, emotion, and bursts of energy. Shakur thrives on time, control, and patience. One fighter needs the night to speed up, the other needs it to slow down. That's why every round feels like a test, not a highlight reel. One perfectly timed disruption can change the story, but sustained control can rewrite it entirely. This isn't about boring versus exciting or good versus evil. It's philosophy clashing with philosophy, gloves on. And with each bell, someone's true approach is revealed.
Shakur Stevenson's fucking insane. He's good. He knows how to win fights. He doesn't risk as much, and I think he should because he's really good at it. But he just sometimes makes fights so boring. The only one that I like is the one that he fought and looked spectacular. Yeah, inside. He stayed inside. He showed. I was like, what the fuck? And all the other fights, I would just fall asleep, bro, too.
Now it's your turn. Drop your opinions in the comments. Get into it, debate it, don't shy away. And hey, make sure to like and share this video so others can join the conversation.